Alright, I'm going to walk through ribs on a Weber Kettle grill. What you need are ribs, pan for indirect heat, some dry rub, I have wood chips soaking, I have a chimney starter and some grocery bags to start it, charcoal, and a relatively clean, sorta Weber Kettle grill. Since I have little helpers sometimes, I've got a barrier around it so nobody gets hurt. Alright. Start up, put your pan in there. And get the grate down. Grab your chimney starter. Newspaper works fine, or a grocery bag. And since I don't have the biggest chimney starter in the world, I fill this thing all the way up. All the way to the top. Start it all the way around. And this usually takes about half an hour, and you want it to be hot all the way through. You can see the flames coming out the top, and maybe shake it around a little bit after 15 or 20 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to get these out of the package. Maybe pull off the back skin if I can. And I'll put on some of this. It's really basic. It's a cup of brown sugar, quarter cup of garlic powder, quarter cup of chili powder, about 1/8 of a cup of paprika, and sprinkle in some salt. I do not claim to be an expert at barbecue, but it's fun and I think it tastes good. So I'm going to show you how to do it February Ohio style. I'm going to give it the old college try on getting the back skin off. It's only been about 5 minutes and the chimney starter's going. There. Can't do it every time. Got it today. Okay, back skins are off. Got my dry rub. If you don't have people sensitive to heat, you could add some cayenne. And don't be bashful. Put it on the meaty side. Alright, we'll let that hang out with the dry rub on it while the chimney starter keeps going. Alright, so this is the chimney starter 15 minutes in, and we're starting to get somewhere. When this gets up to temp, I'm going to put it in indirect heat on the other side of the water, and then I'm going to put the top on. Try to get the grate nice and hot so I can clean it, and start setting my dampers. And I'm going to target 250 to 300 degrees on the thermometer on top of the kettle. And we're going to put these ribs on. We're going to go for 250 to 300 for 3 to 4 hours. And I might go a little bit over 300 up to 350, but oh well. You get to play with the dampers and get the temp where you want it. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes and we're a little bit behind schedule on the chimney. What you want to see, it'll be ready when it gets red in the middle. And you have some flame coming out the top. Right now you just have a teeny little bit of red in there. Not quite ready. Alright, I don't know how well it shows, but we're getting much better. Closer. Alright, I don't know how well it shows, but we're getting much better. Closer. Alright. That's right about where you want to be. You can give it a little bit longer. Get these coals on top to get going, and then we'll dump it in. Okay. See this. It's worth wearing this because this is most definitely hot, hot, hot. So we're going to put it in indirect heat. I'll put this somewhere safe because it is very, very hot. Put it over there. And grab whatever implement we have handy. There you have it. We are set up for indirect heat. So I'm going to put the cap on. It's going to start out very, very hot. I've got the bottom. I'll set the bottom damper to pretty much flow through. When you touch this damper, make sure you wear a glove. It will burn you, and I'm qualified to know. All right, just set that just a little bit open. You see we're off and running up to 300 right away. So I'm gonna make sure I choke it down a little bit. Let's get down here. Choke that damper down just a little bit. 350 is okay. If we get up to 400, we're going to let that fire settle in for a second. Okay, I've got the dampers all the way down, coming near 350. So I'm going to pull the top and clean the grates. get ready to put the soaked wood chips on. It's right about where we want to be. It's probably come up to about 325, 350. The temperature will go up when I put the wood chips on, but it won't last. So let's get ready to put the ribs on and put on the hickory chips. Okay, we landed just a bit over 350. I got my hickory chips here that have been soaking in water for a while. Pull the top off. Just for fun, we'll put this hickory water in the nope, I don't know if that does anything or not, but whatever. Take our soaked chips. Okay. Here. Then we'll get these as far away from the heat as possible. There it is. Now we just check on temperature for a while. So, don't let people intimidate with barbecue. This is all it takes. And I just now put the top back on. So you'll see it'll get very, very, very smoky here as the wood chips get going in a second. We'll probably drive our temperature up a little bit too. Okay, been going for a bit. Temp is down. So try to bump it up a little bit. And open up the bottom. Open up the top just a little bit. Always make sure you use gloves when you touch this thing. Well, we should be able to bring this temp up relatively quickly here. Okay, so pretty quickly, back to right about 300. Got that about halfway open. And here, got on a full vent, and we have nice hickory smoke rolling out for everybody in the neighborhood to smell. We'll watch that top damper. See, we're coming up just a little bit. So I pinch this down just a little bit more. See where we settle in. We'll check on this every 15 to 30 minutes. See how we're doing for the next 3 to 4 hours. Alright, we're about an hour in, and you can see the smoke has settled down. So I'm going to put one more soaked chip on here. Because after about the first hour, hour and a half or two, the smoke really slows down as far as how much flavor it gets. And that is what we got going on, and it's looking pretty good. So. Well, probably look at this in about 2 hours. These look like they'll be done in 3. Add a little bit more smoke, and then it'll be dinner time. All right, so we are an hour and 15 minutes in. Not sure if you can tell, but the second round of wood chip is smoking kind of nicely and started to snow. We are settled in quite nicely, right at 300. Well, I should be good. If I start dropping temp, then I might have to do like a quarter, maybe a half of the chimney starter just to keep it up between 250 and 300, but we'll see. Right now, just gonna leave the dampers the way they are and see where we're at in about 45 minutes. Okay, we're about an hour and 45 minutes in, and I've got everything wide open. And with everything wide, I'm just kind of hanging on. I'm getting close to going to my bottom end. So I'm going to do another chimney. I think I'm going to take this closer to 4 hours. So set this up. And this should be plenty. Maybe half. And this should not take as long as earlier. At this point, going on 2 hours in, we've gotten about all the smoke flavor in that we can to the meat. So now we're just trying to get some heat. And we're not so much worried about smoke flavor anymore, so it'll just be straight charcoal. I'll let this go for 10 minutes or so. It shouldn't take too long. All right. So with half a chimney, that only took about 10 minutes to get fired up. And this should be more than enough to keep us going the rest of the way. So. See or not, we're dropping right about at 250, and we're gonna go at least an hour. So that's how the ribs look. Not bad, if I do say so myself. Oh no, right off the rip. Back down the top damper a little bit. Vent, whatever you want to call it. We've got the bottom one open. And we get to start watching temperature again for a little bit. And we'll see where we land in about 10 or 15 minutes here. Alright, we got everything choked down. That's closed. Closed down here. And we're just about right where we want to be. Could be a little lower, but we're not professionals. We're just having fun. All right, we're 3 hours in. Yeah, right where we want to be. I'll take a little peek here. We're gonna go past 3 hours, and they are just looking wonderful. And we're gonna go a little bit longer than 3 hours because I'm gonna do one rib full dry rub. I'm gonna do the other rack with barbecue sauce, but we're out of barbecue sauce, so we're making some on the stove top. That's gonna take a little bit longer, so I've got a nice low temp. That'll come back up a little bit. And we will put one on one rib rack, leave the other one dry. And we should be done right at about 4 hours. So we're okay with that temp coming down. Okay, 3.5 hours in. Temp is just under 250. And they are ready to be done. We're gonna do sauce on one, dry on the other. Well, that looks so good, we're just gonna go ahead and do both. Like I said, we're not trying to hold true to any style. This is just how we like them. Okay. Not bad at all. You gotta let these rest for just a minute and get the beans, the other things going, and then it's rib time. Alright, here's the finished product. Of course, I've already eaten one. They're pretty darn good. Decent smoke ring around the exterior. And I'd say that's good for a Sunday.